Hey guys, it's Andy here, and we are back at the desk. This is my Luminarch Ascension deck, essentially Turbo Fog for Modern. The kitchen table version I had of this deck was actually, I thought, a lot better. It was running, I think it's Island Sanctuary, was one of the absolute kill-all cards in the deck, would just absolutely shut down my opponent. The original version didn't have any creatures, was the key point to it, but it was running 16 fog effects instead of what this is running. So basically, what this deck wants to do is stall out your opponent until we can get counters on Luminarch and just grind our opponent to death and eventually kill them. Or we can just get we have like one big beater in the deck. If we can get to that, that's like the other alternate win con. Or they just concede because they can't beat our board state, basically. The Orc Champion, which I'm running in a 3 of, is for 2 white. It's a 1/1, basically Soul Sister, so whenever a creature comes into play, you gain 1 life. But she also has protection from black and red. So if we're against a black or red deck and they can't kill it, then it leaves us with Worship that I'm running in a 2 of for 4. It's an enchantment. And if you control a creature, damage that would reduce your life total to less than 1 reduces it to 1 instead. So if they can't just kill our creature, or if they can't get us off having creatures out all the time, the Worship is always going to keep us alive. If they can't kill that, then we just win the game. We are fairly reactive. We do have some decent forms of removal. 4 copies of the Wrath of God for 4. 2 and 2 white. Sorcery speed, destroy all creatures that can't be regenerated. 4 copies of Path to Exile. Single target removal for 1 white at instant speed. Remove target creature from the game. Its controller may search his or her library for a basic link card, put it on the battlefield tapped, and then shuffle his or her library. A couple of copies of Silence for 1 white at instant speed. Your opponent can't play spells this turn. Intervention Pack in a 2 of for 0. It is a white spell at instant speed. The next time a source of your choice will deal damage to you this turn, prevent that damage. You gain life equals to the damage prevented this way. And then at the beginning of your next upkeep, pay 3, 1 and 2 white. If you don't, you lose the game. Bit of a double-edged sword. More often than not, that's just for 0 gain life, save our ass. Really cool. 3 copies of Journey to Nowhere, just more added removal. For 2, 1 and a white. It's an enchantment. In this battlefield, you exile target creature until that is dead, basically. Aketra's Last Mercy for 3, 1 and 2 white. Sorcery speed. Your life total becomes equal to your starting life total, and then lands you control don't untap during your next untap step. So absolutely just grind our opponents out. They get us super low, and then we just go for 3. Okay, we're back at 20. Now what are you going to do? Has saved my ass a couple of times. It's a really funny card to have in the deck. The 2 copies of Proffery Nodes for 1 white. It's an enchantment. It sits on the battlefield, and at the beginning of your upkeep, you destroy the creature with the least power. It can't be regenerated. If there are no more creatures on the battlefield, you sacrifice Proffery Nodes. But because of the Luminarch, we're going to be generating 4/4s very reliably, which means as long as their creatures are less than 4 power, their creatures are always going to be the ones dying. Until they have no creatures, then we start sacrificing ours, but we can keep creating them, constantly keeping them off anything that's less than 4. So yeah, and just another way to shut our opponent out of the game, and a lot of the times just force a concession if they can't do anything about it. The fog effects, I mentioned it earlier, but if you don't know what it is, fog is just for 1 mana. This one's 1 green. At instant speed, you prevent all combat damage that would be dealt this turn. The Eternal Haze is a white version that prevents all damage dealt by creatures this turn. And Holy Day prevents all combat damage this turn. Pretty much all the same thing, all for 1, all at instant speed, all just stopping damage from creatures. This is very much aimed at versing creature decks. If you're in a meta that plays more control decks and less creatures, this doesn't do as well, but it does still win games, don't get me wrong. The sideboard's pretty well equipped for that. Running stuff like this is just a heap of tokens and some sideboard stuff. Seer Avengers. Being able to play a 3 mana flying vigilance for 2, really, really cool. More Journey to Nowhere, Blinding Angels, another way to make them stop their fucking attacking shenanigans. Regal Caracals, just being able to generate more creatures and lifelink. For 5, a 3/3, other cats you control get +1/+1 and have lifelink. When it enters the battlefield, you create 2 1/1 white cat creature tokens and cast out in there for more added removal. Being able to hit permanents at flash speed. Cycle for 1, at a 4 cost. Just really cool cards. Absolutely love the deck. It's won me a hell of a lot of games. Not quite won an FNM with it, but I did come really, really close. But yeah, let me know in the comments what you guys think. If you have a deck similar or a different variant of a Turbo Fog deck, let me know in the comments. And as always, keep questing, guys.
Thanks for watching, guys. As always, don't forget to like, share, subscribe, and hit the bell icon to see new videos as they were released. If you like what I do and you want to support the channel, you can throw me $1 on my Patreon at patreon.com/SendersQuest. And I will see you guys in the next video. Keep questing, guys.